Hello and welcome back to the Olympic Oval for more great racing action. Coming up next, we have the men's and ladies mass start competition for the World Cup selections. First up are the ladies. This is the second mass start event of this World Cup selection competition. The team will be selected off of the total points of the two combined races. So that first mass start event was won by Carrie Morrison. Second was Evenie Blondin. And third was Béatrice Lamarche. The total points for those three skaters are Carrie Morrison with 100, Evenie Blondin with 80, Béatrice Lamarche with 70. The winner of this race will take home 100 points. Second place across the line will take 80. Third place will take 70. Points are also awarded for primes. The primes are held 3 times throughout the race. Those are sprint laps. The winner of the sprint lap takes home 5 points. Second place, 3. Third place, 1. And it looks like the girls are underway. This is a 16-lap mass start race, different than all the other long track speed skating races, in that the skaters race in a pack. First one across the line wins. They also race on the very far inner lane, right on the rope. So each lap is slightly shorter than 400 meters for these skaters as they're getting going. Carrie Morrison taking the early lead. The first lap in the mass start event is a neutral lap, meaning that no skater is allowed to take off from the pack. And so all these skaters skating nice and slow, trying to save their energy. Carrie Morrison, who won the first mass start race, will be looking to repeat that again today. If she can finish first or second, she is setting herself up well to qualify for the World Cup. The skaters are selected based off of the results of the 2 combined mass start events. Canada has a quota of 2 skaters for the mass start event. So we'll be selecting 2 skaters from the bunch here to represent the country at the 4 World Cup events this fall. Josie Morrison now taking over the lead. So as we come through 13 laps to go, Josie Morrison leading the way, and she's going to try and take off and take the prime points. 5 points to the winner of the prime. It's the first of 3 primes. Josie Morrison's sister, Victoria Spence, skating after her, aiming to get some more points. Be interesting to see what the strategy is here. Will they keep going for it as they take the points? The 3 Spences, Josie Morrison, formerly Josie Spence, Victoria Spence, Sarah Spence, taking 1, 2, 3 on the first prime. So 5 points to Morrison, 5 and 1 to Victoria and Sarah Spence. As the pack settles down again, everyone biding their time here for the finishing sprint. Carrie Morrison won the first race. She will be looking to repeat. If she can come first or second here, she will set herself up to qualify for the mass start event at the Fall World Cups. Evenie Blondin was sitting second after the first race. She'll be looking to come first or second as well. Beatrice Hamarche knocking on the door. She'll have to likely win this race in order to dethrone those two other skaters. As we now have 10 laps to go. That was Isabel Weidman taking the lead for a moment, but she pulls out of the way. Abigail McCluskey now taking over the front of the race. So these skaters are all jostling for position. No one wants to lead and break the wind. It always takes more energy. Looks like McCluskey is getting hung out to dry all on her own as the skaters are setting up for the next preem lap. 9 laps to go. The bell rings. The winner of this lap will take home 5 points. And it looks like they may just allow Abigail McCluskey to take those points as they've let her open up a gap. Coming through looks like that's Tori Spence taking the lead. Tori Spence with her sister, Josie Morrison, looking for the preem points again. Blondin will take third across the line. So Blondin collecting a point, trying to set herself up for a good finish. So with 7.5 laps to go, it's Morrison in the lead. Spence just behind her. Blondin right there as well. Weidman hanging in, and there's a small group of 4 that's breaking away. Abigail McCluskey trying to keep pace as they come through. 7 to go. And it's Spence, Blondin. Spence swinging wide there. Blondin had to wake up and try and sneak back in. The pack is still together. There was a small break, but catching up. The pace is picking up here. With 6 to go, Josie Morrison leading the way. Blondin right behind her. Still that small group of 4 at the front. Morrison, Spence, Weidman, and Blondin. Carrie Morrison biding her time at the back of the pack. She has to be careful that she doesn't get caught out. As Carrie Morrison now trying to close a gap. That's going to cost her some energy as we get to the end of the race. Don't forget, Carrie Morrison won the first World Cup selection mass start race. And now, as we have 5 laps to go, the last preem bell is rung. This is the final preem lap. Still a small group of 4 skaters at the head of the race. Tori Spence leading the way. She's going to leave room for her sister, Josie Morrison. Evanie Blondin setting up right behind her. Blondin, a mass start specialist, multi-Olympic, or not Olympic, mass start World Cup medalist in this event. As the pack is thinning out, looks like it is coming back together. Carrie Morrison has closed the gap. Hopefully she hasn't used up too much energy trying to do that. As we are now into the crux of the race. 3 laps remaining, and Weidman will lead the way across the line. Behind her is Spence and Morrison. Josie Morrison. Come around onto the backstretch. 2.5 laps remaining. Victoria Spence has taken a number of preem points. As they come around that corner. Now this is a small elite group of 5 skaters with 2 laps remaining. Tori Spence in the lead. Evanie Blondin right behind her. And that was Isabel Weidman making a move on the inside lane. And the skaters are opening up. It's Weidman, Blondin, Josie Morrison, Carrie Morrison is right there as well. And the race is opening up. 1 lap remaining. Carrie Morrison's making her move on the inside. Carrie Morrison on the backstretch. She has the lead. Isabel Weidman's right behind her. Blondin is closing quick, though. Blondin is going to make a move on the outer lane. It's Carrie Morrison and Evanie Blondin, the two winners of the previous event, in a drag race to the finish. And it looks like Blondin will take this one. Evanie Blondin taking her revenge, winning the second mass start event for the World Cup selection. Carrie Morrison just behind her. Isabel Weidman pulls up third. So, for the final rankings of the combined events, the two mass start events, Carrie Morrison and Evanie Blondin are nearly tied at the top. So 1 and 2 are Blondin and Morrison. Behind them, Isabel Weidman in this race pulled up third with 21 points. And so that means that our top three in the combined event are Blondin, Morrison, and Isabel Weidman. So exciting racing here for the ladies World Cup selection mass start. Stay tuned. In a couple minutes, we will have the men's World Cup selection mass start. 16 laps. On the line for the men's event, we'll have 16 athletes. The first Fall World Cup selections competition, just like the women. The men's event is a combined event, meaning that we have two identical mass start races, one held a week ago, one held today. Christopher Fiola took the first event. Jordan Belchos pulled in second. Ben Donnelly was third in that race. Hayden Mayor and Ted Jan Blumen rounding off the top five. For the men's event, we do have a pre-qualified skater. Olivier Jean is pre-qualified for the Fall World Cups by virtue of his medal at the World Single Distance Championships in this event last season in Pyeongchang, Korea. So Olivier Jean is not racing the Fall World Cup Selections Mass Start event because he is pre-qualified. That means that the second spot goes to the winner of this combined event. So far, Fiola is sitting pretty with a win in the first of the two races. Belchos also has a chance with 80 points. He was in second. Ben Donnelly has an outside chance, having come third in the first event. But it is anyone's race here, as anything can happen. If Fiola, Belchos, Donnelly happen to slip or fall, they could drop right out of the rankings. So we come up here on this 16-lap race. 16 skaters on the line. Fiola, Belchos, Donnelly, Mayer, Blumen, Hiller, Waples, Fish, Watson, Langelar, Corbett, Howe, Jelena Beaulieu, Denny Morrison, Vincent de Heilt, and Jake Weidman. So a stacked lineup of skaters coming up next in this second World Cup selection mass start. Chris Fiola is the man to beat. He finished first in the first of the two World Cup selection events. So he has a target on his back. Expect some other skaters to keep their eyes on him and maybe skate right behind him, hoping to catch some of his draft. As the skaters now line up on the line. In the mass start event, the first lap is a rolling start and a neutral lap. That means that the first lap, no skater is allowed to take the lead, or no skater is allowed to take off from the pack. They must skate the first lap slowly. As they come to the line for 16-lap race. On laps 12, 8, and 4, there are preem laps. Those sprint laps count for points. The winner of each sprint lap takes home 5 points. There are also lesser points for second and third on those sprint laps. At the line, the winner takes home 50 points. Second place, 40, third place, 30. As these skaters are slowly getting going on this first lap. Fiola right in the lead. He is the winner of the last event. So the rest of the pack obviously forcing him right to the front. The early stages of this race are very important as the athletes try to conserve their energy, but also jockey for position. If they are caught unaware when there is a break from the pack, they may be forced to try and close a gap all on their own, wasting a lot of energy. It looks like we've got a skater coming in tight on the inner lane, making an early move. That's Jake Weidman. Jake Weidman deciding to pick up the pace right at the beginning, and he's opening a gap already. He has to be careful. 16 laps is a long way to go on your own. As Weidman's trying to drag the rest of the pack into a faster pace. So Weidman all on his own, right at the front of the pack with 15 to go. 14 to go, my mistake. So it's Weidman. Right behind him, Tyson Langelar also closing a gap. So Langelar and Weidman, their coach is Crispin Parkinson. Maybe they have a strategy set up right off the beginning to work together. Preem lap already. Weidman, Langelar. Are they going for the preem or are they going for the win at the end? These two working together. So a few seconds gap already opened up. More skaters trying to close the gap. Pace is high at the beginning of this race. That's Nico Hiller and Graham Fish trying to bridge over. And that's Fish coming through. And Weidman will take the points, or Langelar will take the points at the preem. Weidman just behind him. Connor Howe will grab the third place points. It was Howe, not Fish, grabbing those points. As the pack tries to settle down again after that early move from Weidman. Weidman still hanging out up front. Jordan Belchos sitting right behind him. And Belchos looks over his shoulder. Where's the pack? He doesn't want to be hang out to dry. Jordan Belchos was second in the first event. If he wins this race, he sets himself up well to qualify for the only World Cup mass start spot available to these gentlemen. The first World Cup spot is Olivier Jans, who pre-qualified due to his results at the World Sprint or World Single Distance Championships last year. And the pack is back together. So everyone a little nervous at the beginning. Some early moves for Priem from Jake Weidman, Tyson Langelaar. Denny Morrison's going to take the head of the race. And he's really taking off. Maybe he's making an early move here. And Belchos realizes, hey, this could be something here. So Morrison taking a lead on this sprint lap. 9 laps to go. As Denny Morrison sitting up front. Ben Donnelly chasing after him. And there's a gap opening up. This is dangerous. Denny Morrison, a strong skater. His personal best in the 5K is in the low 620s. If anyone can hang out up front, it could be Denny Morrison. So Morrison takes the Priem points, but that's not what he's after. He's after the win, and he's going for a skate here, all on his own at the head of the race. Now, who will chase him down? I have a bit of a prisoner's dilemma now in the pack. Because if the skater wastes their energy at the front of the pack trying to catch the leader, they risk wearing themselves out and allowing all the other skaters to just draft behind them and use them to gain again. And Denny Morrison now has a full straightaway on the rest of the group. As Jordan Belchos says, that's enough, I'm going to go for it. So Belchos moving now. They're going to try and catch Morrison. It's Belchos. Right behind him is Vincent Dehaye. They recognize that Denny Morrison is a threat, so they're going to try and chase him down. Denny Morrison still hanging up front. His lead is down to half a straightaway. And the rest of the pack is actually keeping up with Belchos and Dehaye. And so with 5 laps to go, it's Morrison still in the lead. He has opened a 2-second gap, so his gap has really shrunk, although the pack is now standing up. So Morrison's got a chance to carve more time out here. It's a dangerous game the pack is playing here as they swing wide. Morrison, with 4 laps to go, takes more Priem points, and his lead is back to a straightaway. Denny Morrison back to a 5-second gap on the pack. And he's already halfway down the straight as the pack comes out of the corner. When Denny Morrison comes around, he will have 3 laps to go. Now, has the pack given up? Tyson Langelaar leading the rest of the group. Right behind him is Stefan Waples, Rob Watson right there too. That gap is still at a straightaway. 3 laps to go for Denny Morrison. As Ted-Jan Blumen's making a move on the outside. On the inside, that's Graham Fish. Belchos is going to try and follow. And so with 2.5 laps to go, the pack has about 6 or 7 seconds to make up on Denny Morrison. It's going to be close, as Morrison has 2 laps left, and he's hanging out there. That move from Ted-Jan Blumen has fizzled out. As it looks like Langelaar is back on the front of the pack. The gap is closing with 1.5 laps left. Does Morrison have enough left to take it at the end? It looks like he will get caught with 1 lap remaining. 1 lap to go. The pack powers past Denny Morrison. That's Ben Donnelly leading. Stefan Waples, Graham Fish. Oh, and we've got a fall in that corner. Looks like that was Fish going down. Waples still in the lead. Last corner. Donnelly's right behind him. Donnelly could take the win here if he's not careful. There comes Fiola. Fiola, sneaky move. And Fiola will take it at the line. Fiola winning both World Cup selection races. And with that, he will qualify for the World Cups. At the line, it was Fiola, Rob Watson, and Stefan Waples. Denny Morrison came up fourth by virtue of his preem points. Valiant effort from Denny Morrison, but he got caught on the last lap. Christopher Fiola, taking the lead in the last straightaway, won that race. Rob Watson was right behind him. Stefan Waples pulled up third. So Christopher Fiola winning both Fall World Cup selection events, has the second spot after Olivier Jean, who pre-qualified last season. So stay tuned for more Mass Start action. We have the ladies and men's Oval International Mass Start races, 10 laps of exciting pack racing action coming up soon.